Well, 3 years ago today, a dark and evil shadow was cast not just over Poway, but the Jewish community nationwide. A gunman opened fire at the Chabad of Poway, killing one and injuring 3 others.
And as the healing process continues, one of the congregants who was there shared her story today during an online anti-Semitism training. CBS 8's Shannon Handy is live in Poway with a powerful story. Shannon?
Carlo and Kelly, Lori Kay is the congregant who was killed that day. Her murder, of course, is still very difficult for her family and friends. So today, on the 3rd anniversary of her death, the American Jewish Committee held an online anti-Semitism training, saying that according to the FBI, Jewish people are the target of hate crimes more so than any other religious group. Now, the survivor who we heard from today, her name is Randy Feinberg. She was a close friend of Lori's. In fact, she was here that day as a guest of hers. Take a listen.
She is the rare once-in-a-lifetime friend for life. Ironically, the last day of Lori's living was one of 4 days in the Jewish calendar, according to Jewish law, designated to recite a memorial prayer of remembrance. Lori was there. She was present to recite that prayer for her recently deceased mother. I went to shul to be present and supportive and loving with her and for Lori. The prayer is really a heartbreaker, and yet at the same moment, consoling. We never heard the prayer. Gunshots interrupted morning prayers.
That shooting again took place 3 years ago today on the last day of Jewish Passover. A 19-year-old gunman stormed into the synagogue and started shooting. Lori was killed and 3 others, including the rabbi, were injured. The gunman called 911 soon after and was arrested nearby. He's now in prison for life without the possibility of parole. Following the tragedy, local leaders and lawmakers spoke out about the crime, saying more needs to be done to prevent anti-Semitic acts of violence. During today's online training, leaders in the Jewish community, as well as state lawmakers and their staff, gathered to discuss what we can do both at the state and local level, including supporting legislation that condemns hate crimes.
Lori's daughter is alive and lives on without her mother. Lori's husband lives without his wife, and many, many, many family and dear friends are left with a huge limp in our hearts. We need to educate our kids that all hate thought is violence.
And also today, during that online training, a moment of silence was held to honor Lori and those who have died at the hands of anti-Semitism. Lori was a beloved member of the Poway community, of the Chabad of Poway community as well, and she was known for doing random acts of kindness for strangers. Kelly and Carlo.
And Shannon, not only is this a 3rd anniversary of that horrible crime, Randy Feinberg kind of alluded to the calendar. This is a very important day in the Jewish faith, isn't it?
It is. In fact, today's training started with discussing the fact that today is Holocaust Remembrance Day. So, of course, it's a very meaningful day for the Jewish people. It's a very solemn day. So it just so happens that it's also the day that Lori Kay was murdered right here in the synagogue, where she spent a lot of time. And one thing I want to mention, you know, I spoke about how she was known for random acts of kindness. That's what her friends say. And apparently her husband is asking people to honor his wife today by doing those random acts of kindness for strangers.
Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, that's incredible. I remember being at the sentencing for the shooter and hearing from her daughter. I mean, heartbreaking testimony, talking about her mom, who was her best friend. Just heartbreaking.
Shannon Handy reporting for us live. Thank you, Shannon.